it's Katie from the future because 2020 Katie, when this was filmed, was too shy to actually talk during her videos. So, what you're looking at right now is our camping spot near Natchez, Washington, just a little ways over White Pass off of Highway 12. And here we are cooking some dinner with my mom's kitchen setup that she had stowed away in her really cool van build setup deal. Got some yummy potatoes going there, the corn, and I think we had chicken going. Unfortunately, didn't get a clip of that. This camping trip is what started it all with me deciding that I needed to have a canopy build. Because as you'll see later, my mom's van setup is pretty dang cool, and I didn't have a canopy at the time. And here we are enjoying a nice small fire, because if you have experience with Eastern Washington or in a desert, windy climates, fires can get out of hand pretty quickly, and it was quite windy here in this little camp spot, so our fire had to be pretty small, and even this one started to get a little out of hand, and we ended up having to bag our fire after about 10 minutes maybe. This was actually a pretty cool spot, just being right off the highway and being able to have river access like this, and plenty of room for my long boy truck and my mom's van, which is probably almost as long as my truck, not quite as big. But yeah, it was a really nice little spot to kind of just cool off, maybe wash clothes, wash ourselves. Not so much for swimming, just because the current was super fast. I did wait out just a little bit, but I kept the dog out because I was afraid she might get swept away by the current. A very paranoid dog mom. So yeah, there's our little campsite, and here is my mom's van build, what we like to call her llama lounge. Probably can't guess why, right? Yeah, I thought this was pretty dang cool. This was really the first time I had seen her tricked out van with all her craft supplies and anything that you could think of that you would want to amuse yourself with, just right there inside her van, safe from the rain, which it did rain on us a bit during this camping trip, and the only thing I had was the back cab of my truck, which, since I'm only about 5'4", was enough room for me to lay stretched out flat, since they are also bench seats. But when you throw a dog into the mix and all my camping gear, it's not really the best place to just hang out. So I decided that I needed to get a canopy so I could turn the bed of my truck into a similar setup. And that is why this camping trip started my whole idea of kind of doing truck camping, possibly van life, if I could, I guess, find a way to make a living without having to be stationed in one place. So you'll get to see a little bit of the process of how I built my canopy camper. And before we jump into that, though, you can enjoy a little bit of footage of us driving away back to the west side.
truck going up White Pass, and we're going about 20 miles an hour. And yeah, beautiful scenery. That's Miss Katie and her new truck in front of me. It'd be nice if this truck had a way to pull over, let us go by, but that's not likely to happen. So, oh well.
Alright guys, what is up? So I just got the bed of the truck all cleaned out. All the random pine needles and stuff that have fallen in here swept out. Make sure it's nice and clean in here because we are about to build a nice camper setup in this canopy. So I'm just showing you guys what this started out with. So we've got one of these old school style canopies. I'm not exactly sure how old this is. When I say old style, I'm referring to the fact that it's not one of those smooth sided ones. Got these really cool windows, or at least I think they're pretty cool, because they actually crank out with that little Y-shaped thing. As you crank the window from the inside, pushes those closer or farther apart. And that's how you either lift or close the window. I think it's really nice because it does have a screen in here. So I can have my windows open, but also have the bugs out, and it's nice and sealed because it came like that. Well, I assume it came like that. This is the wood that we're going to be working with. Got 2 sheets of just basic plywood from Home Depot. And then a sheet of what I like to call prettier plywood. Actually, not sure if this is necessarily called plywood. It's pretty thin and flimsy. I believe it was 5 millimeters. It's either 5 or 5.2. So I would definitely not, use that for anything structural. What I'm going to do with that is I'm going to be putting that plywood over some of this plywood so that I can create a floor that doesn't have that kind of print and actually looks more like a real hardwood floor. And also for my countertops so that they can have that butcher block effect. And then for the framing of the sleeping platform and the storage boxes, we've got some 1x3 and some 2x6s, all of which are from Home Depot. So what we're starting out with is just a basic long bed old Ford. I'm going to turn this setup into a full-on farmhouse camping palace. It's definitely not going to be just a completely basic no frills kind of setup because that's not what I want. So I will include either pictures or video clips of various stages of doneness. So like when just the frame is in, and then when the sides of the boxes and the actual plywood that's going to go over the top of the platform are all done. But most likely will not include any clips of me actually cutting the wood. This isn't like a woodworking tutorial, because as I said, probably gonna be able to find much better videos on how to do that kind of stuff, because I myself am still learning how to do this kind of stuff. But I just want to be able to show you how you can go from this to this. Four days later. Morning of day 4, and this is what we're looking at. Panda decides that it's playtime. What? You got your piggy? It's your piggy? It's her favorite toy. Anyway, so I forgot to take a progress video for the other days. I do have a couple of pictures of like things not all the way built, but everything is pretty much built now. This piece right here is the floor. All right, so this is going to be essentially my kitchen countertop. So that's why this one is nailed down and the other one is not. I was originally going to have them both using a hinge style to open from the top, but then I got to thinking that that wouldn't really make sense if, say, I have my stove and all cooking things up on here, and then I'm like, oh no, I forgot something, and I need to get something else, you know, out of the cabinet, then I have to move all of that just to get to it. So I thought it'd be smarter to just do cabinets. These do line up, they just don't look like it at this angle, and I still need to put a latch on these. But they open up. I can't open it all the way because the floor leaning is in the way. But to accommodate for the wheel well, I did make this one in 2 different heights of shelves. So this shelf here is closer to the top to clear the wheel well. And then I had to make a cutout a little bit for part of the wheel well just so everything would fit nicely. I guess you can actually see from in here. Oh, you can't really tell that the other shelf is lower. But I wanted to be able to fit taller things on that side. So that's why it's split into 2 sections. And I have, I'll just zoom in. So just one of these latches to keep things shut. Let's talk about this storage box. Give you a little more up close of the wood finish. And I'll be staining this with a with a stain and a Varathane sealant. But anyway, so this will be on a hinge. It won't be loosey-goosey like this when it's completely finished. But when it hinges up, then I have all this storage. Early evening of day 6, actually. I ended up not doing anything on day 5 because it was pretty much raining all day and I had some other errands that I had to take care of. So it's kind of nice to get a break from working on this a little bit so I can start fresh today. And what you're looking at here is all 3 coats have been done on the walls and ceiling of the canopy. Definitely took a good 3 coats to get everything looking not patchy in here. And I just installed my little lights from Amazon. So these lights were $25 on Amazon. There's 8 of them and they are remote controlled. I'll do another clip of them in the dark because you can't really see them that well right now, but then they all turn on. There are dimming settings, so you can either click them directly to 50% or 100% or individually dim them down. I believe there were 10 different settings. There's a timer, so if you want them to shut off in 15 minutes, then you can just hit that button. And they also have a warm setting, which is really nice. So honestly, I think for 25 bucks for 8 lights, that's a pretty good deal. And I just mounted it up here kind of at the halfway mark of each panel. So it actually worked out perfect having 8 of them. They take 3 AA batteries each, and they actually come with the adhesive. These are the backings, but 8 adhesives. I'm kind of wondering how well, like how sticky it's going to stay, since I did notice today, since it was actually sunny for once, that the roof of the canopy gets pretty hot. So hopefully they don't fall, and if they do, hopefully they don't break. So I guess that'll be
glue.
interesting to find out. I guess if I do find out that they're falling, I'll just, glue them on there or figure out some other way to fasten them. But anyway, I will update about the lights when it's actually dark. As far as the rest of the canopy, the cabinets are finished being primed. It took about 2 or 3 coats for them as well, which I should have known it would take that much to get a somewhat smooth appearance with using the cheaper plywood that's just got this texture. I thought by sanding it down it would look smooth, but I was kind of wrong. So might have a little bit of a textured look, but that's okay. And here in a little bit I'm going to be adding the blue paint to them. And then the very last thing that I'll be doing is staining the countertops and the floor. And then that'll pretty much complete the... Oh God. Well, there goes one of the lights. Hopefully they don't all keep falling.
And now for the grand reveal.